I do think for some people, it's definitely a great thing that you can do. But is it for me? Currently not at the moment, but I mean, further down the road, we'll have to see. Um, yeah, I think for me personally, I just like to meet people that I have a class with, maybe a mutual friend or something. Talk about general interests, and then see if, where to go from there.
You never know if that is the real person that you're talking to, and I couldn't establish a relationship with a person that I didn't know.
I wouldn't consider it because I just haven't heard good results from it. I think it's kind of weird, and none of my friends have done it. So. I would prefer to meet them through another friend that knows them, or just being out and about somewhere with my friends so they can get a vibe from it too.
I don't do it, but honestly I don't think it's any more or less dangerous than meeting people in any traditional way. I think it could pose a threat, but no more than meeting someone in a bar or a nightclub could.
It's really foreign to me because I didn't grow up with that whole notion of creating an online relationship. But certainly with my athletes, I know that whether it's just a friendship or developing a relationship with somebody, it's pretty much the way they communicate now. So I know personally using Facebook to catch up with old friends and things like that, that's something that it's fun, it's interesting, but I guess from my standpoint, I'm always talking about safety, and that it's really important that everyone realizes that it's public information and you have to be really careful with what you put out there.
I wouldn't ever do it. I don't really see what's wrong with it. It's just not really thinking for me.
It's certainly dangerous. There are definitely some risks that come with it. I think that, I know that I went to London about a month ago and went with a group of people, and one of the girls that I was with had met a guy online about a year and a half ago on Facebook, and he was from the London area. So they had planned on meeting, and she planned on meeting him alone, a couple blocks away from the hotel, by themselves in a bar. And we urged her that it was, it is a dangerous thing. I think it's best that if you do meet somebody online and you plan on meeting them for the first time in person, I think it's a great thing to maybe bring a friend or two along with you. So because unfortunately in today's age you can't trust everybody on that.
Well, I mean, it depends. Are you posting your innermost desires on Craigslist, or are you going on Zeus? It depends. I think it gets a bad rap because there seems to be this sort of unspoken assumption that, oh, well, if someone goes online to meet people, they just must be this, sad, reclusive person who never trims their fingernails. I don't think that's necessarily true. I know a lot of friends who use it. My aunt and uncle met that way. But I guess at the end of the day, if you can meet someone who you consider the love of your life on the internet, well, I guess the joke's on the haters.
Because I think it could serve as a nice reminder of who that person was. It keeps it alive. It keeps their spirit alive, in a sense. Having that up there, and it's a way to kind of proactively move on as best you can.
A good way. I feel like it's also helpful for the other person to let how they felt about that person, and then everyone can read the good memories.
I think, well, I'm Alpha Delta, so 3 girls passed away last year, and I'm a freshman, so I didn't get to meet them personally, but I think it's a good way to remember them.
When I look at their Facebook, it's weird knowing that, that they're buried, that their body is moved on. The Facebook account for them to have is some people would call it a husk or a shell, but I think it's like a time capsule in its own way. You can look at it and remember them fondly, and while you acknowledge that they're gone, it's like part of them lives on that you can always see and just sort of use to comfort yourself.
I would think in the short term, obviously, because I feel a lot of people communicate through online sources now. I think that's almost natural, probably for the younger generation to do something like that. Personally, I would just say, no, those are things that should be more of an interpersonal relationship.
I lost a very good friend of mine a couple years ago, actually, and his Facebook page is still up to this day. So every once in a while, all of us, his friends, comment on it just to remember him. And it also helps us to remember, who he was. So it gives us a sense of comfort.
It's a good way to remember them, but it kind of sucks looking at it and remembering them the same way. Like, it's good to remember, but it also sucks that you're remembering that.